Hello everybody, Infernape Shinjo here, and welcome to another top 10. And in today, I'm going to be listing off my top 10 blue-haired anime characters. It has been a while since I have posted my top 10 pink-haired anime characters, but I mainly did that just to see if people will be vibing with it, if I should continue it, and more to see if people would want to include their own ideas, because at the end of the pink-haired video, I mentioned about any blue-haired characters that people like, and there were no comments. So I'm just gonna basically just do this for my own enjoyment, I guess. But blue-haired characters, I go so far as to say blue is my favorite color, so this is a pretty difficult list to make. And at the same time, with all the anime that I have watched, there are probably some that I missed. But anyway, honorable mentions, anything that's not on the list. I think somebody mentioned the one girl that's part of Rubrian's team in Dragon Ball Super on my Discord. Like, as far as specifics, I only included characters from anime that I have watched, so there are obviously going to be some that aren't included here, and anything that isn't, or a favorite character that you have, just consider it an honorable mention. So starting at 10 is Konata Izumi from Lucky Star. So I gotta be honest, it has been a while since I wrote out the notes for who is going to be included here. So I guess I just put Konata because Lucky Star is a decently good anime. I really like KyoAni. And for a lot of people that grew up with Konata would probably appreciate it more because of all the references to her being the same Japanese voice actress as Haruhi Suzumiya and all the references they make with that. But being somebody that hasn't watched Haruhi, those jokes just kind of fall on dead ears. But the fact that she's just here to make anime jokes and anime references is just really good. Kind of a fun character, but kind of sarcastic at the same time. So, kind of fits. Number 9 is Kun Aguero Agnes from Tower of God. So this probably isn't going to be a stretch to make, especially considering the main character is just kind of bland. But I would say Kun is probably my favorite character in the show, just because of all the strings that he seems to be pulling behind the scenes. And he's just a fun character to hang out with. Kind of gives me vibes of Killua from Hunter x Hunter, which makes sense because a lot of people make the comparisons to Tower of God to Hunter x Hunter already. Number 8 is Aqua from Konosuba. Now, even though myself, I prefer Megumin from Konosuba, Aqua does have blue hair, and she is the first one introduced out of the 3 girls. And even so, she's just a fun character, both in the dub and the sub. She's just a bit of a loser. People don't appreciate her, and it's honestly kind of sad at times. But the fact that her outburst in both versions is just so perfect. I don't know the Japanese voice actress for Aqua, but the fact that Faye does such a good job with Aqua is just really good, even though she is useless. Number 7 is Fumino Furuhashi from Bokuben We Never Learn. So with Bokuben and Quintessential Quintuplet's first seasons both coming out similar time frames to each other, it's kind of weird looking back that I watched both seasons of Bokuben because it is kind of average, especially now compared to Quintessential Quintuplets. But Fumino is just a fun character. Obviously there's that whole joke, especially with all these other harem anime where the blue-haired character or the childhood friend is never going to win. So sad to say Fumino might not have a chance. But out of the girls, at least the 3 main girls in Bokuben, she's arguably the one with the most personality in my opinion, and I just like her character. The fact that she makes the most wild faces in some episodes that have even been used for memes is just really nice to see. And obviously with harem sort of anime, they have to have a whole variety of characters so you can pick your favorite and then feel upset when they lose. But yeah, Fumino is just a fun character. That's all I can say about it. Alright, and here we are. Number 6, Kasumi Miwa from Jujutsu Kaisen. easily the best character in all the show. Okay, no, I can't even say that with a straight face. No, Kasumi isn't the best character in the show. Arguably, she's probably not even top 10. I would even put characters like Panda above her, but she's just a fun character. I really like her character, and even in her introduction when she seemed kind of stoic and standoffish, and then completely changed to the more upbeat and fangirl sort of character, that was just fun to see. And especially in the fight between them and Itadori's group, it's just really cool that she's the more comic relief sort of character, but I still appreciate her. And the fact that she's above Aqua, who people call useless, when she literally calls herself useless, is just perfect writing on my part. I did not plan that. But I would say if a character like Kugisaki wasn't around, then she'd probably be my favorite character. At least as far as the girls in the show go. Number 5 is Yuki Kusakabe from Interviews with Monster Girls. So I've talked about this show a couple of times before. It's just a really good show about not judging people on what they look like, how they act and whatever. And obviously Yuki being a snow woman, there would be some fingers pointed at her, especially when the temperature gets colder. But the fact that she's kind of like Miwa in a way, that she has those serious moments, but then immediately changes to just busting out laughing while reading a comic book, is just really good. And the fact that she's voiced by Sarah Winderheft, who is the same person that is Toru from Dragon Maid, is just perfect casting in my opinion. Number 4 is Rimuru Tempest from That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, and I guess now Slime Diaries. So going into the first season of Slime, I wasn't sure what to expect. My friend recommended it to me and I watched it one night after work, and it was honestly kind of good. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. But the more I watched it, I was kind of more stagnant on Rimuru as a character, because it just turned into a whole thing of Rimuru being the overpowered isekai protagonist, because, of course. But especially in the more recent seasons of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, at least from the time I'm recording this, with Rimuru literally losing everything, going berserk, becoming a demon lord of all things, that just sent shivers down my spine. And the fact that Rimuru actually gets development even though they are overpowered is just kind of cool to see in my opinion. I haven't seen much of Slime Diaries, but it certainly seems like Rimuru is a lot cuter in that, so down to watch that as well. Number 3 is Lana from Pokemon Sun and Moon. So this is probably not a big surprise. It's not a big surprise to me, at least, since I made the list. But outside of Lily, who arguably got the most development in the Sun and Moon anime, I would say Lana is my favorite, because she's just so sarcastic. She makes all these jokes about fishing up Kyogre, getting a shiny Gyarados in the games. It's just fun to see. And the fact that she evolves her Popplio the whole way, which typically doesn't happen for a female character that gets a starter, it's just really nice to see. Number 2 is Suzuki Iruma from Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun. So the second season is going on right now, and with every episode that I watch, the more I become invested with it. For anybody not familiar with the show, basically Iruma is a human, his parents are deadbeats, sold him to the netherworld, and basically he starts his whole life over again at a school, because he's cursed with the task of not being able to say no to anything. So his parents just have him do stupid tasks. He never got to have any sort of childhood whatsoever. So the fact that he can redo everything in this new world is just cool to see. And Iruma himself is just a fun character. Even though at times he does seem like a bit of a pushover, it's just a fun character for a fun show. And honestly, a very top tier show in my opinion. If you haven't seen this show, you really should. The characters are all fun. The music is literally bop after bop. So let this be my note to you to watch the show. Number 1 is Aladdin from Moggy. So I have gone on record before talking about Moggy on my channel. I talked about it in the very early episodes that I've watched, and I might have mentioned it in a couple of random videos, I can't recall, but this show is just really good. The character development that Aladdin gets through the show is just really cool to see, and the fact that Aladdin starts off as the kind of generic shonen protagonist where he is kind of strong, but he's kind of goofy at the same time, much like a lot of shonen protagonists. He actually grows to be very mature, especially for what seems to be a young age for him. And to be quite honest, I think all the characters in Moggy, at least the main 3, are very top tier. If you haven't seen Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun or Moggy, I would highly recommend that you watch both of them. But that is going to be my list for my top 10 blue hair characters. I can guarantee this video isn't going to be too long, and at the same time I wanted to elaborate more on what I like about these characters, but I didn't want it to be kind of rambling on my part, so I kind of just had it be a short snippet of what I liked about the character and then moved on. If you would prefer me to ramble, I can ramble, but I just figure it's a lot neater and a lot more nicely packed if I don't have much to say about each character and just have a couple small sentences to what I want to talk about with the character. But like I mentioned at the top of the video, any blue hair characters that aren't here, just consider them honorable mentions because most likely I either didn't think to include them or I haven't watched the show that they're in. Please let me know your favorites down below. And this is gonna be difficult to try and explain, but like I kind of want to do a list for every color hair, but there are some that are a lot more difficult to create a list for than others, like purple, orange. They're kind of obscure colors, and a lot of characters that do have those hair colors are from shows that I haven't watched, so that's gonna be more difficult. I was thinking what I might just do is stick with yellow or blonde and then black and white. Unless there are other color ideas that people want me to include, I'll probably just stick with those 3 and then leave it at that. The only other one I could argue is maybe brown, but at the same time there are going to be some colors like purple and green that are going to be a lot harder to pick characters for without picking more than one character from one show. Let me know what you think about all that. If you enjoyed, hit that like button. Again, let me know your favorite blue hair characters down in the comment section, and I will see you next time. Momentai.